May profits be upon you. Welcome to another weekly Forex forecast. Thank you for tuning in on a Sunday afternoon here in Georgia. But wherever you're at, thank you for tuning in. Now, let's just get right to it. Right, this week, let's look at the economic calendar here. On Monday, we have no red folders. On Tuesday, we have no red folders. So Monday and Tuesday, for me, it's very likely that I won't be taking the trade. All right. I don't like trading when there are no news drivers that add volatility, that add juice to the markets, so that a move up or down has some conviction. So that leads to some trending. You understand? There can be herky jerky, weird movements when there are no news drivers. Wednesday, we have a big one, CPI. CPI is the reason why the days before uh, the news is announced for CPI data, you'll see consolidations in the markets because the markets are waiting for a decision to be made. That's all. They're waiting for news. That's when they'll decide on what the trend of the week might be for the next 2 or 3 days, right? So you want to be prepared for that. Thursday, we have GDP, core PPI. Friday, we have some consumer sentiment. Those are good days where there'll be some juice. Every day, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are going to be your best days to trade this week for higher probability trades. Now let's go to the US dollar index. All right. Still thinking because since Trump came into office, we see the U.S. dollar take a nosedive to sweep these um, the sell side liquidity. Right, we see a brief pullback. All right, but this is like 38%. We didn't even reach 50% of this trading range. Right, but after that pullback, we see that the market just continues to nosedive, sweeping these lows for sell side liquidity. We had a pullback into premium. All right, premium price of this trading range. We pulled back, and then price fell back into the discount range. All right, that's cool. That's cool. All right, but if we go to the 4 hour, I'm sorry, we can see last week I talked about these lows here. Let me see if I can get this. Yes. We Nope, that's not it. We've seen these lows here, and I drew this arrow to say, hey, we're going to come back for these lows. And that's exactly what these down candles did on Thursday. All right. Just shot down, swept this sell side liquidity, and you see the market pushed higher, creating this market structure shift to the upside. That's what you want to see. You want to see some structure like that in order to trade. Now, what do we got? We have a bullish fair value gap here, right? And we have a small one here, right? So when you see uh, a move to the upside or downside, but in this case it's upside, and you see small fair value gap, a bullish fair value gap leading to the creation of another larger full fair value gap. Uh, it's definitely momentum is definitely intentional. You understand? I'm looking at the intent of price to go higher, and then with this open fair value gap that was created on the 4 hour, I'm looking for price to find support there for another push higher. We didn't reach this high that I thought we would reach last week. Came very, very close, but we did not reach that high. I think we're going to get that high this week and possibly this high because I think the US dollar is going to have some short term strength. I think we should see either this high taken or this high taken or both, but at least this one. And then we're going to see price swing back down and look for that these lows here. All right. Because whenever I see lows like that, just like these, it's a draw on liquidity for me. And but we have smoother edges here. All right, buy side liquidity here and buy side liquidity here. I would like to see the market move up in that between Monday and Tuesday, uh, drift up, and then, or maybe even get up to this high, and then a nice wick higher, and then a resumption of the overall bearish trend. So we'll see, because this doesn't look like a reversal pattern to me. All right, where the markets just start going up towards these highs again. All right, so I'm still bearish. Yes, I am. And but I can't, it's hard to be thinking selling the U.S. dollar when we have market structure shifts happening to the upside. All right. So we'll see what happens here. I think we're going to see short term bullishness in the U.S. dollar index. All right. Now, if we go to the euro, we're going to see just the opposite, of course. It's a lot of it was kind of chippy chop last week, just like in the U.S. dollar. All right, but if we go to the 4 hour, you're going to see while the U.S. dollar was gaining strength, the euro was losing strength, right? Because the U.S. dollar is dragging it down. We also see the creation of that market structure shift here. All right. Last week, I said this move would happen where we take out the buy side liquidity here. That's where those X's are. Remember the dollar signs I had there? Yes. All right. And we took out this high here. Those were my targets for last week. If anybody remembers, if you made money in the euro last week off of that analysis, holler at your boy in the comment section, will you please? All right. I'd appreciate it because I would like to shout you out. All right. Now, just marking the break of structure. We broke those highs. We had a nice close above it. I'm thinking that price is going to continue higher, but we have a market structure shift, so I can't look for buys as yet. We've ran into an order block here, which price is finding some support on, but it's not weak. It's not strong support because you can see the reactions. The reaction, if it was strong, we would lift it off, but that's not what happened. Over the next 8 hours, we kind of drifted to the side. I'm looking for this low here to be the draw on liquidity. As the U.S. dollar gets stronger, the euro is going to get dragged down, and I want to see if we take out both of these lows. But I'm looking at this low first, of course, being that's the closest draw on liquidity. If price does move down, I would like to see what it does once it takes those lows. Because keep remembering this, all right, that if the market is not seeking liquidity, it is offering fair value. If it's not offering fair value, it's seeking liquidity. There is no bearish fair value gaps going up here. All right. This is a low. This is a low. And I'm thinking that because we don't have any more fair value gaps going lower, there's nothing to stop it from seeking those lows and then offering fair value on the way up in the form of creating bullish fair value gaps. But I'm getting way ahead of things. Right now, I'm thinking that we're going to have some short-term bearishness in the euro. All right. If we go to the pound, all right. I also want to point out something. You see how in the euro, we did not create. What am I doing here? We did not create a fair value gap here. All right. It eliminated that fair value gap, but you see the fair value gap created in the U.S. dollar index here. It's more, the U.S. dollar is more stronger than the euro is weaker, but it will follow. It will follow the U.S. dollar index. If we go to the pound, very, very similar price action. You can see we created this market structure shift after taking out these highs, which I said we would. I looked at these relative equal highs here. We knocked that right out. Boom. Holla at your boy if you made money in the pound. All right. We went all the way up and took out that high. So you can see the weakness come in the market. All right. There is no bearish fair value gaps here. All right. We have an opposing candle here. Maybe the price will react to that on the way up, on the way back up. But I'm looking at price continuing this move to the downside. And once we take out this low, which is inside of this area of fair value, maybe we might see the market move higher. It may come all the way down here to take out that low. Could, as the U.S. dollar gains some strength in the short term and then turn around. We'll see. We'll see. But for now, short term bearishness in the pound. Now, the Aussie dollar. You see how messy it's been. All right. We're looking at the 4 hour here. All right. You see how messy it's been. Let's look at the daily. All right. It's been choppy since when? Since April, right? April 21st. Came up into this and just been kind of grinding its gears higher and higher. And I said we would probably move all the way up here to this area of fair value. The market is going to offer fair value up here. This is the weekly fair value area. Sorry, this is the weekly time frame, and I marked out this buy up before a stronger sell off, which is really monthly. All right, the buy up before the stronger sell off. Boom, price coming back to that breakout area. I'm looking for price to turn around right about here. Okay. And if we go to the daily, you can see I'm looking for a price to take out these highs. And we nearly did so last week. We almost hit the objective. Or I mean, we might have missed by a tick right there. All right. That's okay. All right. But we did take out these highs here. And if you made money in the euro and the Aussie dollar, holla. All right. And I think we're going to come all the way up to that area of fair value, bearish area of fair value, and take that out. Let me mark this properly. All right. That's an area of fair value. Doggone it. All right. Here. All right. And I'm looking for the market to turn around here. That's all. I'm just looking at the market to kind of start to turn around here as it's make its way up, because one of the reasons is these lows here are a draw on liquidity to the downside, and I'm looking at the US dollar dragging price down into these lows. So you can see that we have these relative equal highs here. I'm going to mark them out properly. Boom. All right. We've taken these lows from this nice push to the high side, taking that high. Boom. We come back lower, taking that low. I'm thinking that we're going to continue lower. This is in the market I would recommend trading in because it's herky-jerky, it's consolidative, and you can get lost in it. All right. But I do think that we're going to pull down, possibly sweep these lows with the US dollar strength, and then come back up and sweep these highs into this area of fair value. We'll see how it goes. New Zealand dollar, not too dissimilar. All right. You can see I pointed out last week these highs. This high was taken, these relative equal highs, and I pointed at this high over here. So all of those were knocked out early in the week. I think it was like Monday's candle. Yes, if I'm not mistaken, it was early in the week, and yeah, it was right. And this was Tuesday. Monday we took out that high. Then Tuesday we took out an even higher high. And then we had this probing candle, this one that wipes all the buy side liquidity clean, I think we're going to be making a move down from here. I do. With that candle, I think we're going to be making a move down. And first target is here at 0.59900. Okay, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, Canadian dollar. Uh, if we look at the weekly, you can see I have an area marked out here. This is a weekly area of fair value. Actually, it's not. It's a monthly. I don't know why I got those colors in there. Yeah, that's a monthly. See that gap? Boop. All right, here and here. All right, if we that's a weekly, a monthly. I said that last week. We're probably going to be pushing up higher into this monthly fair value gap, and that'll be the draw, similar to what we just watched looked at in the uh, which one was we just talking about? Is it Canadian or New Zealand? I'm sorry, I'm going way ahead anyway. Um, if we go to Canadian, I think that we're going to turn around inside of this bearish fair value gap in there. I do think that's exactly what's going to happen. And if we go to the daily, you can see that we pushed higher, did not make contact last week, no, the previous week. All right. And you see how price then finally found contact, made contact, pushed down, had the initial reaction, and then we take out those highs. All of that buy side liquidity inside of this area of fair value, this bearish area of fair value. I'm looking at price to move down in this fashion. All right, do we have a draw on liquidity? If we look at the 4 hour, yes, we do. I didn't draw it, so I'm going to draw it now. All right, we have these lows. These lows look like they are inviting the market to push down to it. Remember, we're going to probably have a stronger US dollar, so that'll take these markets down into this untouched area of fair value. All right, and that's where I'm looking for a price to turn around and possibly start to move higher. But right now, yeah, if I see a move back up into this area of fair value here, you see this buy up before a stronger sell off. I'm looking for price to move back up in there, and if I see the markets hesitate around there, that'll probably be a good move, a good trade to take down to the fair value mark, the fair value area. Okay. If we go to the Swiss, I think is being drawn down to these lows here and these lows here. I think that's going to be the draw on liquidity there. We've taken this low. Yes, price could definitely start moving up from here. This is a nice area for price to come and snatch up buy side liquidity, but it's got to fight a stronger US dollar. We'll see how that goes. I don't want to take a short in this market uh, until I see a move back up here. I want to see liquidity taken, and then I would be thinking about taking a move back down. But right now, this is a bearish market, and uh, I want to see a market structure shift in one direction or not. All right. And the last one is the Japanese yen. Lots of liquidity up here, buy side liquidity. This is 4 hour chart, but I think we're going to make a move lower first before we make the move up. You understand? Because the US dollar is going to be strong. These are the proximal areas of liquidity that the market is probably going to look at. And we have a 4 hour brand new fair value gap on the 4 hour. So price would have a good reason to head down. Remember, if the market is not seeking to give fair value, it's seeking liquidity. This would be offering fair value in order to seek liquidity down lower. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Trade safely.